Once you learn how to create a drawing in one-point perspective, you can turn that basic box into lots of other types of objects. So, to practice, we're going to draw a horizontal line that's your eye level. Then we're going to put the vanishing point off to the right-hand side. And I'm going to say, take your ruler, turn it vertical so it is parallel to the edge of your pencil, and just draw on the other side of the ruler so it's about, I don't know, 4 inches tall or so. We're going to create the box that's going to be way off to the left-hand side. Now, I'm going to draw my diagonal converging line from the corner of the box to the vanishing point. And I'm going to go to the bottom corner and repeat that. Then I want to create a parallel line that's representing the end of my box. And now I'm going to erase the eye level line that's cutting through, and I can get rid of the rest of my diagonal line over here. Okay. Now we're going to learn how we can add details to the side wall of this box to make it start to look like a building. So I'm going to add doors and windows, but most commonly I see students just draw a box to look like a window. Well, that's not going to match the perspective that we see because we see this from a side view. So I'm going to teach you how to draw window to perspective. You're going to take your ruler. You're going to line it up in your vanishing point, and you're going to draw a diagonal converging line that represents the top of your window. Then you're going to draw a diagonal converging line that represents the bottom of your window. Now I'm going to add parallel lines. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to cover up the vertical line that was the side of my building. So I have that marker, that visual. Now I'm going to turn my ruler, make my ruler parallel to my pencil. If it's parallel, they're not touching and they're similar distance all the way through. I'm going to hold my ruler still, pick up my pencil, and draw the parallel line. And then I can erase any parts that are left over. Then I also have to do that on the other side to finish my window. I'm going to put my pencil on the vertical line that's the edge of my wall. I want to make my ruler parallel to my pencil, pick up my pencil, draw that parallel line, and then I can erase parts that are left over. So if you look at a building, every window has a frame around it because the frame is what holds the window to the wall. So I'm going to put a frame around my window. I'm going to use the bottom edge of my ruler so I can see the window and the distance between the window and the frame. My ruler has to be on my vanishing point, and I'm going to draw a diagonal converging line. That's the top of my window frame. Now I'm going to switch to the top of my ruler. It's in my vanishing point. I can see the distance from the bottom of the window to the frame. It looks similar to the top distance here. I draw the diagonal converging line. Now I switch to parallel lines. I want my ruler parallel to the vertical line. If it helps, put your pencil on the vertical line of your building and make your ruler parallel to your pencil, and then draw that parallel line. And then I can erase extra parts that I don't need anymore. You could add lots of details to your window. What do you see in your window? Is that a poster? Is it a sign to your building? Do you want to break up your window into smaller sections? If I want to put panels in my window, I could draw a vertical line. If I want to break my window into 4 sections, I'm going to take my ruler, put it in my vanishing point, and I'm going to draw that diagonal converging line cutting through. So now I've got 4 panels to my window. So to draw a door in one-point perspective on the side of the house, I'm going to repeat these steps, but now I'm going to draw the top of my door. It could be a people-sized door where I can walk through it. It could be a double door. It could be a garage door. It could be a pet door. You decide how tall you want your door to be. I'm going to draw a diagonal converging line that represents the top of my door. I don't need to draw the bottom of the door because I already have a line down here that represents the bottom. So now I finish with parallel. If it helps, put your pencil over the vertical line that represents the end of your wall. Make your ruler parallel to your pencil and draw that vertical line down to the bottom. Repeat that on the other side. We looked at our classroom door, and our classroom door has a frame around it because that's what holds the door to the wall. So I'm going to put a frame around my door. I'm going to put my ruler and my vanishing point and draw a converging line on the top. I switch to parallel. I turn my ruler straight up and down, and I draw the parallel line. Then we talked about adding details to our door. I'm going to split mine in half so mine looks like a double door. And you could add a door knob. What's it look like? Is it a circle? Is it a lever that you pull down? Is it a handle that you pull towards you? If I want, I could put windows on my door. Same process. Put my ruler and my vanishing point. Draw the diagonal converging line. Put the ruler in the vanishing point. Draw the diagonal converging line that's the bottom of the window. Switch to parallel. Turn my ruler so it is vertical and straight up and down. And now I have windows. I could add curtains. I could add blinds. There's lots of details that I could add. Then we also looked at ways that we could add detail to the drawing, where it might look like your building has texture on the side of it. So if I want my building to look like it's made of wood or brick, here's how I set this up. I put my ruler on my vanishing point. I draw a diagonal converging line. I stop and go around my window. Now I'm going to move my ruler down a bit. My ruler's still in my vanishing point. I'm drawing that diagonal converging line that goes across the entire length of my house, but I'm skipping where my window is. And I could do that all the way to the bottom if I want. My ruler stays in my vanishing point, and I draw the diagonal converging line, skipping my door. So it could stay like that if I want. Or I could make it look like it's made of brick, where I draw vertical lines going through. I could draw the whole length of my ruler if I want, or I could skip every other line. And then I'm going to come in and add some vertical lines in the opposite spaces where it starts to look like brick. If I want it to look like wood, I just might add a few vertical lines throughout that represent where these wood panels connect. I could also add little details like nails that are holding the wood onto the side of the wall. I could add texture that might look like the texture on the top of my desk, or it's got some wood grain to it. The front of the building is easy. This is like I'm standing here looking at the very front. So if I'm going to do a door and window on the front, that's just your regular shape where I could just draw a box that represents my door. I could put a frame around it. I could draw a handle, and I could put details on that door, decorations on that door if I want.